Ready for your next comic? Sibo McNally!
So I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. My genes are very strong. My kids look just like me. They look like the product of masturbation. For one of them, you can kind of see my husband a little bit. Like, he might have been in the room for that one. But still just like watching from afar, like cheering me on as I rub my way into motherhood. But no, having kids, it's like things that used to feel so easy or feel like impossible now. Back in the day when like my friends would tell me from out of state that they're going to be visiting, I would feel delighted. Now I feel attacked. Like, why did you feel the need to share that information with me? It's not my business that you're now here. Because I never know what to do with that information. Like, on top of parenthood, sucking up all your time and energy and joy. I'm also naturally a very anxious person. I'm a people pleaser. So when I get that text that a friend's gonna be in town, I'm either gonna stress myself out trying to figure out a way to incorporate them into the shitstorm that is my life, or I'm gonna accidentally out myself as the closeted antisocial loner that I truly am. Because I'm a DL introvert. I'm on the down low. I'm not out. I present as an extrovert, you know. I'm talkative and friendly and outgoing. But I'm dying to come out the closet and admit that I absolutely hate being around all of you. And always be like, I get a text that'll be like, hey, Sibo, I'll be in your neck of the woods next weekend. Headed there for a conference. Get in Thursday, leave Sunday. Now, the real me would like to respond, okay. Period. But that wouldn't be received well, which I've learned a couple times. So over the years, I've learned to come up with some bullshit to say to appease people. You know, usually text back like, oh, nice. Would love to see you if you have the time. But I'm sure you're going to be running around like crazy. Right? So good. Now, any decent human being would take my obviously empty gesture and simply say, yes, you are so right. I will be running around like crazy. Thank you for recognizing my presence, but also giving me the freedom to live my life and attend my conference as God intended. And then we do this for years and years until one of us dies without ever seeing each other again. Like true friends, right? And this usually works. I usually get away with this. There's always that one friend who will text back like, nope. Will not be running around like crazy. Would love to see you too. I'll make the time, no matter the day or time. In fact, I will skip this whole goddamn conference if it means I get to spend just 1 minute with you. Fuck the conference. I'm not going anymore. I'm not going to the conference. I was never going to the conference. I'm here to see you. I'm going to see you. I will see you. I hate my friends. I'm kidding. I love my friends. So many are here tonight. Even some from out of town. Like, I didn't know y'all would be here. No, I'm kidding. But speaking of friends, I've been thinking a lot about enemies. And you know a saying that I'll never understand? Like when someone's dealing with like a really terrible pain or thing and they're like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Why not? Like, it's not the whole point. Don't we want our worst enemies to suffer, to experience the greatest suffering there's ever to exist of all time? Like, I could see if the saying was about our regular enemies. Like, okay, I wouldn't wish this on my regular enemies. Or like, I wouldn't wish this on my favorite enemies. But your worst enemy, yes, let them have it. Let them experience that shit. Like, there'll be people who recount their terrible experience with stomach flu or food poisoning, and they'll be like, oh, God, it was so bad. I was out of commission for like a week. I would not have wished that on my worst enemy. So, the explosive diarrhea, the vomiting, the gurgling stomach, sharp pains, the peeing out your ass in a violent, aggressive stream. None of those symptoms you'd want to wish on your worst enemy? Who do you want to experience it? Your friends? Family members? Like, this is your chance. This is your chance for your worst enemy to suffer. Now you want to show them grace? Now, truthfully, this question did not first come up for me in the context of me having diarrhea. But let's be clear, anytime I have diarrhea, yes, absolutely. I want all my enemies to experience that. But no, it came up in 2013. My younger sister died unexpectedly. She was 26 years old. It was the worst thing that happened in my life, completely broke me. Still not fully healed, but I feel like you never fully heal from that sort of thing. And I remember at the time saying to myself out loud, it's a true story, like, this is the worst pain I've ever felt. Like, I would not wish this on my worst enemy. Because at the time it felt like that's a thing you should say, right? Like, I never had a reason to say it before, and now I did, and so I said it. And I remember right after I said it, literally feeling like, No, this pain is actually so terrible. This is exactly the type of pain I would want to inflict on my worst enemy, because it would literally destroy them. And then I sat and thought about who my worst enemy would be, and I realized I didn't have one. I know. I didn't realize I didn't have any enemies. And so then I was even more depressed because I couldn't use this terrible, evil feeling for good. So I say that all to say, it's really important you have a worst enemy. And a backup enemy, just in case that first one dies. You need 3 enemies, just to be safe, 3 enemies. That way, if you're ever feeling and dealing with terrible pain, you could think of someone else also dealing with that terrible pain, and it might bring you some joy. So just think about that. You're welcome. I mentioned that I have kids, and my husband and I, we made the decision that we were all about gentle parenting. We were going to gentle parent. If you're not familiar with what gentle parenting is, it's basically the opposite of how I was raised, which is not gentle. It hurt. This was the whole, like, I'm the parent, you're the child, do as I say, and if you don't, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, simple. Gentle parenting is more like listening to your kids, realizing they have big emotions, helping them self-regulate those emotions, and all without beating their ass. And it's hard. The time and patience it takes. But what's most like difficult for me is just how humbling it is. Like, my kids, they don't give a shit. Like, my kids will be complete terrorists, like vandalizing the home, making threats, engaging in violence. And I look at them like, you know, when I was your age, if I were to say or do something like that, I get a spanking. I get popped. I wish my parents would have just talked to me and given me another chance like I'm doing with you now, but they beat me. And my kids will just look at me like, you fucking pussy. You let your parents do that shit to you and you ain't call the cops? Like, because you try that shit with me, we are definitely calling the cops. I fucking dare you. Now get back to gently parenting our ass before we fuck you up. And my husband and I will be like, okay, fine, but we're taking away your tablet because you said fuck. Before I get out of here, I do want to share that this year I'm turning 40 years old. And part of me turning 40, I wanted to try stand-up comedy. My husband pushed me to try it, so shout out to him. I know some of y'all might be looking at me like, what, 40? No way. In case you haven't noticed, I'm black. I'm turning black 40. I didn't say I was turning white 40. There is a difference. Black 40 can look like you're barely pushing white 25. White 40 could look like you're grasping at life with your wrinkly white hands and paying for the sins of your white ancestors. Hoping you're not mistaken for white 65. Did you know in the movie Titanic, Rose, who played like the old lady, she was actually 40. She did that on her 40th birthday. Which is really sweet when you think about it. But I'm turning black 40, and thank you all so much. This has been amazing. Thank you for
Stop the very funny Sibo McNally. Keep going. She earned it.